ليش هيب هوب / رمضان مع حسان.
السلام عليكم أعزائي المستمعين، وأهلا بكم في برنامجكم الأسبوعي في رمضان. ليش هيب هوب رمضان سبيشل، أو يعني بطابع رمضاني بنتكلم فيه على أشياء كثيرة، بأنها مثلا زي الأسبوع الماضي تكلمنا عن أمريكي يعني he converted to Islam which is amazing which is great الحمد لله. وتكلمنا كمان مع رامي الشققي، وقبل كده كمان تكلمنا مع أزهر عثمان، هو مسلم كوميدي ستاند اب كوميديان جريت. واليوم حديثنا أعزائي المستمعين أكيد حنتكلم عن الشعر والهيب هوب، وإيش علاقة الشعر في الهيب هوب. زي ما أنتم كنتوا صرتوا عارفين دحين في خلال برنامج ليش هيب هوب، راب which is RAP stands for rhythm and poetry، فله علاقة قوية جدا، و you know it's a very 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 big connection. ف you know أكيد التواصل معنا أعزائي المستمعين STC 844448 موبايلي 630590 وزين 732222. We are on Twitter as well at big_hus وmix FM radio. أعزائي المستمعين، قبل ما أعرف عن ضيفتي اليوم في شيء مهم لازم أقوله. المهم هنا الإسلام أعزائي المستمعين ما له جنسية معينة، يعني مثلا مش كل واحد عربي صار مسلم ولا ما. الإسلام للإنسانية، لكل إنسان. Islam is for humanity, Islam for everybody. So you don't need to speak Arabic to become Muslim and thus far. يعني this is very important. Poetry is important, ladies and gentlemen, especially in hip hop. I have with me today a very cool guest, a young soul that I'm proud of, and you know, someone I met, and alhamdulillah, she is a very very talented person. So we're going to say assalamu alaikum, Nissreen.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good.
Alhamdulillah. Of course, salute to you and the rest of your fam, Habib. And everyone else, salute to them really. Thank you very much for taking the call.
Thank you.
Nissreen, tell us a little bit more about your opinion and how you start, when did you start writing, and especially we're talking about maybe not 100% poetry, but we're talking about spoken word, and what's the difference, if there is a difference, and the air is yours.
It's all about expression. It's all about you having an idea, a feeling about something or towards something. You just want to express it. Be it through dance, like hip hop. Hip hop actually started with like the African Americans that were being shipped from Africa all the way to America, and they didn't have a means of talking, because if they were to talk, they would get whipped and tortured. So they found another way to send messages between each other, which is by, tapping their chest or stomping their feet, or moving the chains that were shackled between each of their feet. And that's how the origins of real hip hop was. It's called body beats, and that's like the true origins. And I would like to do a really quick shout out to my teacher, Miss Mina Lichioni, because she gave me like the history of hip hop and all this stuff, which is really cool.
Can I give her a shout out as well? Yeah, big shout out. Of course, that's amazing. And I respect really, what I respect, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's very important that to shout out as well people who respect the origin of any genre. We're talking about hip hop. It's very important for people not to take the stereotypes, because what's happening now on TV and the radio, it is the hip hop that they quote unquote want to promote silliness, want to promote stupidity. Tell us about, of course, you said expression, which is very important. When was the first time you saw yourself actually, mashallah, writing and stuff like that?
It was just at a point of like 5 years ago or something, where I was just, just growing up, going through life, and I felt like I was going through a really hard time, and I didn't know who to go to. Like, I couldn't really confront my friends, or if I were to go to my friends, I had to give them a whole backstory and talk a lot, and I was just like, I don't have time for this. So I just go to my laptop, open a Word document, and I just start typing.
Wow.
And I'm typing to myself because I don't need to explain anything to myself. Just write, and I would know exactly what I mean, and then, just write and write and write. And then that kind of started a trend for me. Whenever I wanted to let something out, and actually the document is called Me Venting. So it's just pure expression to your feelings. It's that whole thing.
That's amazing. I'm going to go back a little bit to the discussion we were having about hip-hop. The main aim of the show is I want people to also take away the quick judgments. I have a problem here whenever I started this program 2 years ago. A lot of people said hip-hop is this, hip-hop is bad, hip-hop is about bad lyrics. But again, they have to listen to the song, they have to listen to the lyrics, they have to listen to the intent. Hip hop is, you have 4 elements, which are DJing, MCing, b-boying, breakdancing, graffiti. These are 4 elements, but for me, Anna, there's a 5th element which is very important, which is so much related to poetry, which is knowledge. And rap is poetry. When someone tells you that rap is not poetry, how do you reply back, Miss?
I would go like, please explain to me what is your definition of rap and what is your definition of poetry. And if you really get to like the core of it, you would find that the only real difference is just one has music on top of it and the other one doesn't.
Great.
Poetry is words and rap is words as well, but it's just rap.
Let me also add that poetry has rhythm, right? When you write, don't you write with rhythm?
Yeah.
So hip hop has rhythm as well, and big rhythm. Nissreen, again, I'm very honored, to have you. Inshallah, we'll have you in the studio soon, very soon. But that being said, I just want to know that I'm proud of, young sisters like you that are doing they're expressing themselves in a very good way, in a very positive way. And you are always, you'll be with us because you'll be reading couple of stuff that of course that you wrote. For now we're gonna go for a short break. It's commercials, and this is how we get the salaries done. And basically I want to thank you again, and just stay with us. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me Miss Nissreen Al-Mansour. Of course, Al-Mansour or Mansouri?
Mansouri.
Al-Mansouri, of course, a young and talented, I'm going to just call you a human being because, mashallah, you're full of talents, and that's amazing, mashallah.
Thank you.
We're going to go for a short break, so stay with us, okay, Nissreen?
All right.
رمضان في أحلى ليش هيب هوب /رمضان مع حسان.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aki, we're back with Laish Hip Hop, special Ramadan edition, and my special guest for the evening is the talented Nissreen Al-Mansouri. Nissreen, I want to give a shout out to the people who are with you. A big shout out, of course, Jumana and Samah and Mr. Habib. Thank you very much for their support, and pleasure. You need to salute to them. So salute to them. Nissreen. Okay. Nissreen, now it's very important. We were talking about hip hop and how it's related to poetry, and we talked a little bit about that. For you, before we go into some of your writing, what does hip hop mean to you? Like as a music, as a form of expression, as a genre, as a culture, what does it mean to you?
Hip hop is, like you said, it's a form of expression, and sometimes it's represented by different forms of people. Like you said, there's the hip-hop people that only talk about ass or booty or cats and cars. There's the other ones that actually have like soulful meaning, a real message, trying to let you wake up and notice what's going on around you, what's going on in your life.
It's a very interesting point that you brought up, and I always ask my guests, why do you think the main radios and the TVs are focusing on the bad hip hop? What's the reason? Is it to dumb down the people and the brain?
No, it's because it sells. It buys into.
Do you know? Sorry to cut you out. Do you know a group called Outlandish?
Yes, of course.
Outlandish. They don't sing about booties. They don't sing about nothing. They none of that. They sing, powerful and dedicated stuff, and they sell. So I think, in my opinion, and I see where you're going, but I think, حتى if it doesn't sell, we as human first, we have a message, and I'm very happy to have an amazing young, soul like you. And now we're gonna get down to hearing some of your writing. So whenever you're ready, Miss Nissreen, this is your debut on the radio. Is this your first time on the radio?
I think so, I guess.
MashaAllah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Yallah. طيب. Whenever you're ready, we're going to be listening now to a piece of writing that, of course, Nissreen wrote. If you can tell us a little bit about it, whether you want to start, this is your call.
You told me to write this, and the time you wrote this for me, I wrote it before Ramadan, and I kind of had a message to give to the people before Ramadan started, but
no, a message is a message. Let's do this.
A message is a message, nonetheless. I titled this one Wake Up Call.
Okay.
You never know what life's going to throw at you, but whatever it does throw at you, when it does, you've got to have faith that it's a test from God and it's for your best interest. Everything you've gone through in your life made you who you are right now. And you may not notice it, but it also made you think the way you're thinking right now, how you receive these words, and whether or not you're accepting to them or skeptical, maybe indifferent even. And you will continue on this path of yours unchanged until one day you decide, you know what, I'm going to change such and such about myself to be so and so. All that kind of thought needs is a trigger, a spark, that little push of a finger that sets a row of dominoes to just tumble and snowball one after the other. But what could such a trigger be? Maybe it's so small you didn't feel it. Maybe such a change wasn't meant to happen. Or maybe, just maybe, it's built up for something greater, a lesson you're destined to learn. Maybe that wake-up call is so big, it hits you like a ton of bricks when it decides it's time for you to notice it. Maybe, as you hear these words right now, you're thinking of the brick wall you've been ignoring and dreading the day you're going to have to face it. Maybe you're remembering the little nudges that directed your attention to a key moment in your past. Or maybe you're just sitting there idly listening to these words pass you by. Life is going to throw many things at you, good and bad. But never, at any point, think that if God throws something bad at you, that He's upset with you, or that He hates you, or that if He's consistently giving you all the goodies of this life, that He loves you and that you're perfect. Rather, remember that this life is all a test, and that life is temporary. He gives you hurdles so you learn to jump, to make you a stronger person, more equipped to tackle the great things He has planned ahead for you. He gives you riches to see if that will spoil you, or if that will give birth to the kind and generous person you could be. Never take anything for face value. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. What I think is the best illustration for this point is the story of Musa and Al-Khidr in Surah Al-Kahf. Musa was told of a man who God told him was the wisest man on earth. God told Musa to seek for the man. Once he found him, he asked the mysterious man in green for permission that he would follow him around and learn from him. The old man told him, "You wouldn't have patience for a guy like me. And how would you have patience for something you don't fully understand?" But Musa was persistent, and the man agreed, but with one condition: that if Musa was to follow him around, Musa should not ask a single question until his say so. Musa agreed, and off they went.
Wow.
Upon their journey, yes?
No, I'm just enjoying this. Go ahead, please.
Upon their journey, they came across a river, and they had no means of getting to the other side. But they were in luck. There was a crew with a boat, and they were more than happy to help, free of charge. Once Al-Khidr and Musa reached safely to the other side, Al-Khidr waited so the crew did not see him, and lightly damaged the boat. Not enough to sink it, but just enough for it to look ruined. Once Musa saw this, he confronted the old man and said, "Why would you do such a thing to the people who helped us when we were in need?" All the man responded was, "Didn't I tell you you wouldn't have patience with me?" Musa then apologized and promised to be quiet. As the two continue their journey, they come across a young boy. Without giving Musa any sort of heads up, he killed the boy right then and there. In awe, Musa just first saying, "What have you done? You've killed an innocent child." All the man responded was, "Didn't I tell you you wouldn't have enough patience with me?" Musa then apologized and said that if he broke the rule one last time, they will go their separate ways. Upon continuing their journey, they enter a small village that had riches and food, but no one from that village had offered them neither a place to stay nor even food and hospitality. As they're passing through, they see an old wall that is about to collapse. The old man quickly started to fix it up and told Musa to help him, but he didn't, too confused with what he was seeing. Once Al-Khidr finished repairing the wall, Musa asked, "Why would you do such a thing for free to the people that were not hospitable to us? We could have gotten something out of this." Al-Khidr just said, "This is where we part ways. Let me fill you in on what you did not have the patience for. As for the boat, well, I knew that when they would continue their sail, they would encounter a greedy king that forcefully takes any boat he likes for his own. So I damaged the boat, just enough so that he wouldn't want to take it, and simple enough for them to repair and keep their only source of income. And that little boy I killed, if he were to grow up, he would have been the biggest, cruelest tyrant this world has ever seen. But since he did not commit those crimes yet, and he's still young, he will go straight to heaven, and his mother and father would also gain hasanat for their grieving. And inshallah, they will be blessed with another child that would be more obedient. As for the wall, well, the wall belonged to a good, hard-working man that lived in that village. He passed away, but left a treasure under it for his 2 orphaned sons that will recover this treasure once they are older and responsible. But if I hadn't done this, the wall would have collapsed and maybe another person would have uncovered the treasure." After that, the two went their separate ways. In a sense, Al-Khidr played like fate in this story. Did some things that didn't necessarily make sense at that particular moment, but it does in the long run. And I guess this is what I meant by don't take anything for face value. Ramadan was coming up at that point, and a lot of us tried in Yakhtim al-Quran in this month. What I hope my little wake-up call does is maybe suggest, instead of just reading through it and trying to get to the end, really read it and give the stories you come across a good moment of thought. Everything in this holy book is in there for a reason. It can guide you, enlighten you, and vouch for you in the future, inshallah.
Wow. Nissreen, this is, wow, man. Wait, you can't have me live on the radio after reading this. Wow. It can guide you, enlighten you, and vouch for you in the future, inshallah. Nissreen, your piece of writing just right now, while you were reading me through it, I just got huge goosebumps, and I'm live on the radio. I'm very proud of you. Seriously, I'm very, very proud of someone like that. This is amazing. This is all you're writing, right?
Yeah.
Wow. This is amazing. Nissreen, stay with us. We're going to go for a bit of a long break. But after we're back, if you have the time, we will be discussing, why did you write that and what inspired you and all that stuff. But thank you very much for sharing this with us. This was now broadcasted on Mix FM, broadcasted to the world. And I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. Wallahi, I don't have no words. Wallahi. We'll be right back. Yallah.
Bye.
أعزائي المستمعين سمعنا نسرين ما شاء الله عليها, very talented soul, very I'm proud to to know such a soul. This is an amazing story, an amazing piece of writing, amazing knowledge, and through poetry, من خلال الشعر, من خلال الكلمات القوية, من خلال الكلمات الهادفة, من خلال الكلمات اللي لها معنى. And this is what we need in our life. We'll go for a break. I will be right back with you guys.
ليش هيب هوب / رمضان مع حسان.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Laish Hip Hop. Where, this is amazing. Nissreen, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Wallahi, you know that the feedback I got on Twitter was shout out to Miss Yasmin Hani. She's telling you a big applause to Miss Nissreen. That was beautiful.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're going to be famous, khalas, already. You're not going to talk to us anymore. But, it's, wallahi min jid, it was a beautiful piece. I'm not sure if you can just tell us, first of all, what inspired you to write such a piece and, because I know it's called Wake Up Call, right?
Yeah.
And you started the whole, the first line was, you never know what life is going to throw at you. And I believe exactly what you're talking about. But if you can just, what's your experience writing that? How did you feel? What inspired you? The whole story.
The whole story. Well, to be honest, it was you. I mean, like I'd shown you a few of my older work, and then you were like, "How about go for something of a positive message?" I'm like, "Okay, positive message." And on my flight from Bahrain to Jeddah, I was on the flight. I'm like, "Okay, positive message for Hassan. What am I gonna do for you?" and then I just started brainstorming. Like I had my iPad, I was like on the plane and I had my iPad on my lap, and I'm just like, okay. And then I was just thinking of everything, and my brother is going through some medical issues, and what's
the name of your brother?
Rakan.
Shout out to Rakan. This is a big shout out to Mr. Rakan all the way from Saudi Arabia. Of course, he's here? No, he's not here.
No, he's with Dhahran.
Yeah, he's on well, shout out to all Dhahran people, especially Mr. Rakan. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the problem just came out of nowhere for me, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm just like, and this, in a sense, that kind of inspired me. It's just like you really would never know what would life throw at you,
right.
and it's from that point I was just like, okay. And life is full of ups and downs and all this kind of stuff, and the best way to take it is just think about it very logically. Like this is for the best. This is just a test. This is going to pass. Okay. And that's really how it started.
You know what I enjoyed about your piece of writing, and it's the fact that it was written. You can feel so much passion, but yet you can feel so much poise. So usually passionate people like me, for example, everyone tells me that you're always over the hook, you're always shouting, you're always passionate, and there's a big difference between angry and hungry, and that's what I always say. I'm always hungry to always promote good people. I'm always hungry to let the people know that there's something different, better than أنا طفشانة أو طري ورور. I don't know what are they calling. There's something more intense, and I liked your message because at the end you said Ramadan was coming up at that time, and a lot of us want to يختم القرآن. But what's nice about you is that you somehow said something like along the line of just reading through it and trying to why don't you read the stories of Quran and come across a good moment. That got me a lot. Because
the Quran is full of like examples, and it's for us to sit and think about. It's not just a bunch of words thrown together. Of course, no way, it's not. But it's there for us to really, dissect and to digest fully and understand it completely. There's stories, much more than the stories. This was just one of my favorite stories that I read, and.
Wallahi, tell you the truth, I salute you for picking that story. I salute you for your soul. I mean, there are no words. But الواحد يكون فخور. I'm very proud of this writing. I think you should publish this writing somewhere. So
you wouldn't be the first person to say that.
Wallahi, of course. And shout out to, what I want to say something very important here, and I hope your family is tuning in. Shout out to your family. You know why? Because without family, without their support, and I'm sure they're supporting you, you wouldn't have that, command, that push. And that's amazing. So salute to them, really. That's a blessing, mashallah. Alhamdulillah, beautiful. What do you want to tell your parents? They're listening right now.
I love them. I love you guys so much, and you made me who I am, and you made me think who I am. And I love my mom because she really motivated me to think and challenge and to work things out in my head and to make things make sense rather than just listening to what I'm supposed to do or just robotically okay, I'm supposed to do A, B, and C, so I'm going to do A, B, and C.
Wow, shout out. Rakan? Is she Rakan or?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. MashaAllah, you guys, amazing. You said something that command got my attention, which is, you said never take anything for face value. What do you mean by face value?
Well, okay, let's say you get into a car accident.
Yeah.
Don't take it as, I got into a car accident, this is the worst day of my life, this is horrible, and so on and so forth. Think of it as, okay, this is an opportunity for something. Or you, like I said, you never know. You never know what life is going to be. Like, it's just...
Like, I agree with you. They always say, لا تكرهوا شيء عسى خير لكم. So,
yes, exactly.
Yes. So, that's beautiful. Nissreen, we're gonna go for a very short break, like a minute break, and then we come back. And Minjid, I really thank you for the opportunity, for the chance. A lot of people are really enjoying this on Twitter. I'm getting SMSs. I got an SMS from a guy called Abdullah. I'm not sure what's his last name. He said it's amazing to see a sister. What is it? Amazing to see a sister talk like that. Salute to Nissreen. So that's amazing. So yeah, you're getting some good
Twitter account as well.
Yalla. Shout out to all the people that follow Nissreen on Twitter. Big time. Let's go for a very short break, a minute, and we'll be right back. Okay, Nissreen?
Okay.
Yalla.
ليش هيب هوب / رمضان مع حسان.
Okay, Nissreen. Assalamu alaikum مرة ثانية. Okay, great. Nissreen, I still can't, mashallah, I can't get over the piece of writing, and mashallah, it's amazing. I want to encourage you to keep writing, because mashallah, you have a talent, and as a person who has a talent, you have a lot of responsibility. I'm not going to tell you that you're amazing. I'm not a judge on one of these stupid shows. Allah is the judge. You have a responsibility because you are good with words. You're talented with words, and it's amazing, really. I want to talk to you about how do you see yourself progressing? Okay, now, mashallah, you're writing, and I want to encourage you to keep writing. How do you see yourself evolving, or do you write, whenever you're inspired, or what do you want to do with this? Because it's a talent.
Well, I mean, I used to only write when I'm like in any sort of extreme emotion, like extremely sad or extremely excited or extreme whatever. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's enough practice for me to really learn to hone my choice of words or my flow of, rhythm of the sentence or so on. So I'm like planning to challenge myself. Like, I would ask people to okay, tell me something to write about. Like you gave me my challenge. You were like, I want you to write something positive. So this is what you got.
Nice.
So
ladies and gentlemen, whoever is listening to this, yalla, challenge Nissreen for her next piece. I'm not sure if we can give away your Twitter account. Can we give away your Twitter account?
Yeah.
What is your Twitter account?
NISSOB, like NISS 0_BE.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Nissreen's account on Twitter is NISSO_ NISS0_BE. That's like a CIA code, man. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, NISS0_BE. This is Nissreen Mansouri's Twitter, and I want you guys to spam it. Okay? Do that. Nissreen, I'm sure you know Suhair Hamad, right? Suhair Hamad is a Palestinian poet, and I want to read some of her poetry to you and tell me what you think, okay?
All right.
Great. I'm not sure how good I'll be like you, inshallah, but anyway, it goes like that. It's a very dear poem to me personally, and I love that poem. So it starts with, goes like that. I will not dance to your war drum. I will not lend my soul nor my bones to your war drum. I will not dance to that beating. I know that beat. It's lifeless. I know intimately that skin you are hitting. It was alive once, hunted, stolen, stretched. I will not dance to your jumped up war. I will not pop, spin, break for you. And my computer slashed. Great. So my screen back, I was reading it, my screen, I think the poetry was too powerful. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Suhair Hamad is a Palestinian poet, Palestinian-American poet. I had the... familiar. Yeah, mashallah, she's very talented and she's very real and she's authentic. I urge everybody who's tuning into this special show, Itaba or Suhair Hamad. She is, I had the pleasure of talking to her, more than 5-6 times, alhamdulillah, and we are working on an interview, inshallah. She's blessed. And we talked a lot about how important poetry and hip-hop is. And I want to go back to that a little bit since we have a couple more minutes. Nissreen, now you're a bit familiar of how the hip hop scene is in Saudi Arabia. I know you're a fan of a couple of people like maybe Jid the Fam, Run Junction, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And Qusay.
Yeah.
AZ, shout out to AZ. I think AZ is such a phenomenal in R&B. Comes wallahi, the guy is wallah, shout out to AZ. How do you see them evolving? Like, do you because unfortunately, for Saudi there are no venues or people, so they go on the internet and this is how they vent out in their own way. Yeah. What's your advice to them to keep going from you?
I think a great way, because in this world, in Saudi, the youth are really on YouTube. I mean, think of all the comedians that are really growing, because they have a strong YouTube community, and of course YouTube is internet, like worldwide. So if you focus broadcasting yourself, because YouTube gives you that good medium for you to broadcast yourself and really show who you are through vlogs, through actual good content. And if they are consistent and they manage to interact with their crowd through comments or collaborations and all these kind of things and really get themselves out there, the more exposure they have to the world, the higher the probability of them reaching the people that could be their audience, the kind of people that would like their content. And that's the best way to do it. Really get yourself out there, get yourself exposed. And the more people you meet, the higher the chance of them actually liking you. Because, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people skeptical. There's always going to be people that are going to want to let you down, especially a direct circle in Saudi. If you're just there oh, I want to do something, and you bang the table and you sit exactly where you are in your place, you're not going to go anywhere.
Wow.
But... yeah.
That's amazing. Again, shout out to all the people that are, sending us messages. And this is a very nice shout out. It says, encourage youth to write more. A special support to Arab young women who use balanced, strong words to tell their stories. This is from Hanan Fathallah, which happened to be my lovely wife. So salute to that. And she loved your piece. And that's min jid, this is something command to talk about, that somehow, Nissreen, now you have a big responsibility, a lot of what would you say? I know it's early to ask you that, but as a human first, then of course female second, what do you have a special, maybe this is what you could write about next? Okay, I'm telling you, we're brainstorming on the air. Is there something about female? They always tell you female empowerment. In my opinion, this is how do you say this? We are nothing without our women. Let's face it. This is, of course, women are very important in our lives. Our mothers and sisters. Our mothers and sisters, wives, daughters. They're very important in our lives. So, anybody that thinks that way is against that way is really backwards. What's your message to all the women that are tuning in right now to you? What do you tell them? I know you're a young soul, but, what do you tell them?
My advice to women is really know who you are. What do you like? What are you passionate about? What is your talent? What is your message to the world? Once you figure that out, the next question is, how are you going to share your message with the world? Be it art, then practice it, and then put it in exhibition. Be it music, then make music, then put it online. Be it writing poetry, then make a blog, and then share it with the world. Do what you want. Find out who you are. Find out what you want to do. Because a lot of girls just go oh, I want to be something. but they don't take the next step. Like what do you want to do? Like, keep going. It's brainstorming. It's just like, oh, maybe one day. Like, no, it's not going to work.
Just start. And that is something, of course, starting it. That's a very powerful message. I know some of the people will call it corny, but it's a real message because it really just start. Once you start, khalas, things will flow. Like exactly. you wrote this piece on an airplane, and this piece might take you to take you places. Because really,
like when you want to start something, it's a daunting task. You're like, oh, I'm going to reach the world. No, and then you make it a big problem in your head. It's gonna be a big thing you have to deal with. Then you get scared, and then you don't want to do it anymore. But taking that first step, that little initial push, just like I said, it's like a domino effect. Like, okay, I started. Can't stop now.
Nice. This is, on the regular days, this is a music show whereby I play music, and best Ramadan, we're playing some Islamic tracks. Who's your favorite hip-hop artist?
Hip-hop artist.
Or what's your favorite, song? I know it's a hard question, but what's your style of music?
What's my style? Okay, my style of music is really anything with a good message, honestly. Okay. Like, if the person writes good lyrics, and that's usually the first thing I go for. It's good lyrics, and then I look at good vocals and good music.
MashaAllah, this is beautiful. This is amazing. We're ending the show, but any message you'd like to say, Nissreen? I've had, MashaAllah, I really had a lot of fun talking to you, and I'm sure the listeners did. A lot of people did, alhamdulillah, and they're going to be spamming your Twitter again, which is NESS0_BE. That's afwan NISS0_BE, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any message you'd like to say لكل المستمعين أي أحد يسمعنا دحين to anybody? The air is yours. Go ahead, man.
I don't know. Like,
I'll put you on the spot. That's nice. That's nice.
I mean, never belittle yourself. If you think like, oh, I'm just one person, I can't make a difference, then you need to shut that voice up.
MashaAllah.
And go like, yes, I can. Because one person affects 3 people. Those 3 people affect 3 more people. That's 9 more people. And then so on and so. It's an exponential, expansion.
MashaAllah.
And you never think like, oh, I'm just one person. No. Every person counts. In voting, in making a difference, everything counts.
Wow. # every person counts. Yallah. Let's make it trending. But, again, thank you very much, Nissreen, for your time. Again, thank you very much. Thank you for your lovely family. Again, let me get the names right. Mr. Habib, Jumana, and Samah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to them, and shout out to everybody on your Twitter list, everybody that's listening right now. Big up to that. And I'm going to end my show right now.
Oh wait, can I say just one more thing?
Go ahead.
Technically, it's midnight now, and it's the 3rd of August. I want to say a big happy birthday to Ali G. I guess this is the best I can do. It's your birthday. I wish I was there. Have fun.
Wow, Mr. Ali G. That's a very good name.
Yeah.
Ali G. Okay, happy birthday to Ali G. 3rd of August. You just got it from Nissreen, and I'm giving you a big, salute. Happy born day. And, amazing. Thank you very much, Nissreen. And,
thank you.
Yes, I'll be talking to you in a while. Thank you very much. And again, Assalamu alaikum, Nissreen. Thank you very much for your time.
Alaikum salam. Bye.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break. Actually, إعلانات وبعدين أنا هقول لكم السلام عليكم. Thank you very much. ومع السلامة.
رمضان في أحلى